Okay, welcome to this AOP introducing video where we get to shine a light on growing companies that help procurement teams 10x their impact. Now, in just 20 minutes, we're going to dig into an organisation's origin story. We're going to discover how they solve unique challenges before providing you insight in how you can take action. Now, AOP Introducing is the only format that we've got at AOP which focuses specifically on a company's product. And today we're delighted to be introducing Synertrade. Now, Synertrade's a leading global provider of digital procurement solutions. Synertrade Accelerate is an all-in-one cloud-based platform. It covers the entire source-to-pay process, and it enables CPOs and CFOs to efficiently orchestrate source-to-contract, procure-to-pay, and supplier relationship management process in an integrated and fully digitized way, and it enhances the end-to-end collaboration between all the business functions. And to tell us more about Synertrade, I'm pleased to welcome Olivier Berrouiguet, the President and CEO of Synertrade. Now, Olivier is a passionate business and team developer who's able to open new markets, as well as driving transformations of existing business for small and large companies. So welcome to this AOP Introducing, Olivier.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you today. Hello, everyone. Hello, Helen. I'm delighted to be here with you.
Lovely, Olivier. So let's get started with that Art of Procurement question. Now, Olivier, did you find procurement or did procurement find you?
Actually, procurement found me. It was a bit more than 2 years ago. I was part of Econocom Group, who is our mother company. And Econocom asked me whether I would like to continue and accelerate this transformation of Synertrade, which I accepted. So that's how everything happened and started.
Oh, so you're fairly new to procurement. Lucky you, you're in that early stage of being really excited and discovering all the new things about procurement. That's wonderful. So tell us, what does Synertrade do?
So actually, as you mentioned, Synertrade has been live since more than 20 years. We are a source-to-pay platform software, I would say. What makes us a bit different is that since the beginning of the company, more than 20 years ago, we've focused a lot on the upstream part, how you check the supplier portfolio you have, how you make tenders, complex tenders, how you make auctions. We've been more focusing at the beginning of the company on this part of the solutions for procurement leaders and teams, rather than on the P2P part that we have started later, I would say. So to explain how we are positioning ourselves is like we've been a pioneer of SRM and S2C parts of the offer, I would say.
Okay, and so you're fairly new to Synertrade in the sense you've been there a couple of years and it's been around for a while, but what was the inspiration for the founders to start Synertrade? What gap in the market do you see and the opportunity to add value? You know, have you got insights?
From what I've seen and discovering the company and the history of the company, because we have a long history. So when I started 2 years ago, I was starting to understand how everything began for our customers and how we built together the solution. And as I said, a lot of the focus at that time and still is that it was really to understand how procurement teams could be a lot more informed, acute in the way they manage and know their suppliers and the different supplier layers, and how to use these informations when you have to make a decision, when you want to select a supplier or a bunch of suppliers per category. So that has been the start of the company for the first, I would say, 10, 12 years. And then the company started to develop the P2P, the transactional part. So that gives us from, the rest of the market, a kind of experience to go on this part of the need of the procurement teams to be able to understand further, deeper, what is a an SRM situation and how flexible and reliable you have to be in these particular situations. That's, I think, it's quite an added value we have on this market.
You don't often hear that actually, that a company might start with the SRM and go the other way to to P2P. Often you hear it's going the other way. So as you say, that's going to give you some really interesting insight into that relationship, and then obviously drive what you're doing further down the stream. So you've talked a little bit about your points of differentiation there. So tell us a bit more about what makes you different.
So I think that because of this history, we have been confronted to, when you're not creating, but being an early bird, you kind of do the mistake that the other one later on will not do, and we learn from our mistakes and also from the different situation that you have in terms of platform when you work on the upstream, on the SRM and tender and auctions, everything which is helping you to make a decision as a supplier, as a procurement team. On the opposite to once you have a contract signed, how you execute it. It's a different story in the journey of a procurement team and people, and that's what makes us different from this perspective. We know that to bring value to the procurement teams, we need to offer a quite large solution, flexible solution, simply because the processes are quite more different and various than in the P2P part. That's what we've seen over the last 20 years. And we know that the maturity that we observe in different kind of situation, whether it is inside the same customer or different categories, is also quite different. So if you mean that the span of different situation is reflected in the tool, which if we be a bit, I would say, trendy, we would name it no code, low code, because we have done so many things in the tool that a lot of our existing customers and new customer, they like the fact that you don't have to go for anything specific. So that, to answer your question, completely makes us different. Having said that, we also have developed since 10 years a P2P platform, and what is also potentially quite different from what we see on the market is that we have the same technology on the full scope. So quite a lot of mid-size companies, they like the fact that they can start the journey or restart the journey of having a digital tool from S to P on the same platform, on the same technology. That is really an added value compared to some other guys, because you don't have to retrain your people. It's the same technology, same environment. And also when you want to execute specific action plans, you can do it on the same platform, and you can manipulate the same data and information in a seamless manner. So that's also give us on the full scope, a different DNA as other players, I would say.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds really connected and very easy to use from the sound of it, because you're on that same platform throughout. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking about your clients then. There must be lots of great examples of how working with Synertrade's added value for them, delivered benefits. But I wonder if there's one example that you could share with us today to bring that to life, because I think that would be really powerful for people attending today to hear.
So we have quite a lot of customer happy and getting value out of our platform. One of the most, I would say, compelling is the Schneider Electric one. For many reasons. The first reason is that Schneider Electric is quite well known for its maturity in terms of supply chain. It's been awarded recently as one of the best supply chain in the world by Gartner. It's also a company that have decided, and I think understood quite early, of the strategic dimension of procurement. They were well advised because they started to do the deep transformation on the procurement platform processes and strategy before, and a few years before the big crisis that we've been through since 3 years, whereas we talk about supply chain, of course, COVID, of course, inflation, etc. So everything that makes the life of procurement teams quite more complex. And having invested in different tools and get the maximum value of these tools quite early gave to Schneider quite a lot of advantage, quite a lot of more resilient structure in terms of procurement in order to be faster and better to react to these issues, and therefore get a lot of benefit from this investment and this platform put together. We do the SRM slash RFX S2C platform for Schneider, and we see that we are now getting to a level of maturity where we can integrate a lot of good data coming from their partners that do the assessment of risk and situation in a lot more deeper manner now. And the strength of our platform is that we can execute action plans through a lot of suppliers and through a lot of different communities and teams throughout Schneider Electric, which is a huge company. We talk about more than a few thousands of procurement people in this company in different categories all around the world. Seven, every week, every day. So it never stops. So long story short, the value that we generate now with Schneider Electric is really measurable. We're quite proud of it, and we are, anticipating a further deployment of this platform and added value that we're going to bring with them. So really, really good example of how successful and how good the impact could be of this platform on the business of our customers.
That's a fantastic example to share. Thanks for that. And I think real inspiration for people watching the video just now about what they can achieve. So they're ready to go now. They want to find out more. How does a company get started with you? Because obviously the example you've quoted there is a big company. The Synertrade is working with them across the piece. When you're right at the starting blocks and you're about to get started with, how does that happen? Is it a pilot project? Do you pick a particular area? How does that work in terms of getting started?
So what we like a lot and more, and specifically on the upstream part, the strategic part, is to be very pragmatic with our future customer on how we can demonstrate on some proof of concept the value they can anticipate, show, to build the business cases that they need. They means the procurement teams to demonstrate the value and the difference between doing this rather than not doing this. We are the way to interact with us is just to start to work on us on the business case that people want to see happen, and very often they think it's going to take too long. A lot of our competitors, for instance, may say, an SRM for a mid-sized, large-sized company could take 1 year, 2 years. We can make things happen in 5 months. We have demonstrated that. And how we do that, because we have a very pragmatic, agile way of work based on a solution which is really deep and flexible that we use actually to build and to demonstrate over proof of concept what we can do. And we have gathered a recent success with one of the largest retail company in Europe, which is Auchan, based on this way of work. On top of that, we have a fully integrated team of professional services, having quite a difference from what we see on the market. We have procurement people in these teams. We have also IT people coming from the IT service companies. So we kind of hybrid team. And we think it is absolute necessity to be successful in any project. So that's how we would like to start the collaboration. We focus on the business cases, we define some proof of concept, and we make them happen in few weeks, months, based on our procurement know-how, based on our digital understanding of what is happening, and based on our IT rules of how to deploy a software, which is quite often forgotten, and without that, things cannot happen. So this is how to interact with us, I think, in the most efficient manner.
Yeah, that sounds like a really structured and really impactful way to get things moving. So thanks for sharing that. Okay, we're coming to the end of our video now. And so where can people find out more? What do they need to do next to get in touch with you or to get in touch with Synertrade and find out more?
So we're present, of course, on the web with Synertrade.com. Use it. You have a different environment instead of languages. So please, it can be in German, in French, in Spanish, Italiano, etc. Just join us there. LinkedIn also is a good way to approach us. Don't hesitate to use my LinkedIn page. Go leave a message, and I will have the company reacting in an efficient manner to start discussions and hopefully get good talks and good business together.
Brilliant. And we've put the link to your website up at the bottom of the video there, and there'll be a link on the web page on Art of Procurement also for people to connect with you. So all that remains me to do now is to thank you, Olivier, for this opportunity to learn more about your backstory and the value proposition of Synertrade. And thank you to everyone who's taken the time to watch this episode of AOP Introducing to learn more. Thanks very much and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Helen. Bye-bye.